Hey guys, hope you're doing really well. Back with another video, and this video is going to be absolutely unreal. Okay, if you follow the exact things that I'm going to tell you in this video, you're going to be able to 3x your output with at least 12 hours less time every single week, and that's within 30 days guaranteed. Okay, when you follow these exact steps that I'm going to lay out here, there's no possible way that you can achieve this goal within the next 30 days. Okay, now you might be wondering why I'm the so-called expert here. So myself personally, I started as a safety engineer. I was working in the pharmaceutical industry, and I just struggled to cope with the ever-increasing demands of the job. I was working longer and longer hours, trying to get everything done, trying to juggle everything, trying to remember everything, trying to prioritize everything. And this led eventually to me developing almost constant flu-like symptoms that really developed into chronic fatigue. I had no short-term memory whatsoever. I had constant aches and pains. Because of this, I just wasn't able to do my job properly, let alone become a top performer. And no doctor could even figure out what was actually wrong with me. So I knew I needed to find another way to work, one where I could get far more done in less time, with less mental effort, less physical effort, so I could actually perform in my role while dealing with these chronic health issues. And I knew there had to be a better way to work, because I've seen other people like Sir Richard Branson juggle multi-billion-dollar companies with more free time than the rest of us. So I started going down the rabbit hole of productivity in order to discover the productivity secrets of exceptional performers. I read the books, I took the programs, I attended the seminars with the best minds on the planet, and I just put myself in the same room as these people to learn and grow far faster. Look, what I seen was those commonalities, okay? There was certain commonalities between these top performers and how they worked. And I started to actually apply what I learned myself, literally battle testing these methods every single day. Keep what worked, discarding what didn't. When I really refined my systems, I found I was getting what used to take me 5 days to complete in just one day, and that's why I was still suffering from this illness, okay, which turned out to be an autoimmune condition triggered by the stress of how I worked. So I started helping friends and family. When I seen the kind of results that they were getting, I knew I had in my hands a formula that could be taken and used by anyone, okay? And while I was still receiving treatment for this condition, that I really started to think about, how could I help others do what I done? So I started documenting my processes, and that's how my elite productivity coaching program was born. I basically was you a number of years ago, and now I'm on a mission to make sure that no one else has to suffer like I did. There is a better way, okay? I now help the busiest people in the world right now, business owners, to 3x their output with at least 12 hours less work every single week using my MPP productivity system, so they can run successful businesses efficiently, effectively, while getting the time, the money, and the freedom they crave. And we're doing this right now by creating systems that just optimizes the way you work, by capturing, prioritizing, and showing you exactly what you need to be working on at any given day and time based on your priorities, enabling you to apply leverage to what you do, which is getting the most significant result with the least possible effort, reducing the time it takes to actually complete your most important work, working in a near constant state of high performance productivity, giving you an exponential leap in your results with a fraction of the effort. And you'll do this using what I call the high performance productivity flywheel, which is a hyper effective delivery mechanism to predictably produce results and actually leverage time, so you can get far more complete with less time and less energy, okay? And this is being used right now by busy business owners like you that are tired of working long hours, more than 10 hours per day in their business, and they don't want to keep sacrificing their health, their family, their personal time. Those that struggle to switch off or be fully present with their loved ones even when they do finish work or even take a holiday. Those that find it a challenge to find the time to run the business, not just work in it. Those that are stressed, overwhelmed, and feel exhausted because of how they work. And those that don't want to be looking back in 20 years with money in the bank and regretting missing out on all that time when the kids were young. Those that want their time, their health, and their life back. And they want their business to succeed, but they don't know how to have it all. They want guidance and support, and they lack accountability right now. Also, those that have no systems or routines whatsoever for their days and just get swept along, only getting their most important work complete at night or at the weekend. And those that aren't even sleeping properly, not looking after their own health, prioritizing business instead, okay? And those that are really busy but just not productive, working really hard but not working smart. And the first step here is creating what we call the high performance mindset, okay? Most business owners are so focused on keeping the wheels in motion that they neglect the engine of the business, themselves. If a car has the best tires, the best brakes, and the best steering, but the engine doesn't perform optimally, then the car will not perform to its potential either and will likely grind to a halt sooner or later. You see, your mindset is your engine. And as business owners, we could have the best systems, the best tools, the world-class mentors, but if our mindset is not optimized, then we can never be fully efficient and effective with our days or with anything we need to do. When you dial in the high performance mindset, it just optimizes everything you need to do. And here's the formula for success. Okay, it's the right mindset plus the right skill set plus the right action equals guaranteed success. The remaining steps will give you the skill set, okay? But this is why the first thing we do together is optimize your high performance mindset to ensure your engine is primed for speed, efficiency, and success, so that when you have the skills, you can basically do anything that you set your mind to. And we use a science-based approach to do this, but every step implemented hand in hand with you to ensure you're primed for success straight away with this. And to do this, we create a flywheel loop that just primes your engine, optimizes the way you think and act, allowing you to become your own master of your mind, okay? And we do this by getting crystal clear clarity on your purpose, your vision, and your goals. And this is what I call setting up your GPS, because when you don't fully know exactly where you are and exactly where you want to end up, you'll probably end up anywhere and probably very, very far away from what I actually want in life. When your GPS is set up, there's a gap from where you are to where you want to end up, okay? And we give you concrete action steps to close that gap and align with what we call your future self. So success is basically impossible to avoid. We bring you through a very powerful exercise to identify the real root cause you want to achieve your goals. It's called your big why. And this is your rocket fuel to get you moving, but also to make sure you keep going even on the bad days. When you have that big why front and center, I'm telling you, nothing, absolutely nothing will stop you hitting your goals and targets. And then we combine all this together with massive action. When you do this, you're going to be unstoppable in life. Unstoppable, believe me. This flywheel will just ignite everything else, all the other steps that I'm going to talk about here. The next step is implementing a world-class system that captures, prioritizes, and shows you exactly what you need to be working on at any given day and time. And we do this together using our 10x productivity blueprint for world-class performance. Like, the amount of information we're now expected to consume and keep track of is staggering. But by outsourcing the job of remembering, prioritizing, and managing everything we need to do, we gain peace of mind, knowing exactly what to do with each piece of information, and the confidence that comes that will never be forgotten. And we can better manage our fears and anxieties by getting all this stuff out of our head and making a plan to actually address it. And the end result here, after you implement each step in our process, is a second brain system that will capture, prioritize, and show you exactly what you need to be working on any given day and time based on your priorities, based on what we call your high leverage tasks, keeping you high on the leverage curve. And I'll talk about the leverage curve in just a moment and why that's so important, okay? You'll also have what we call performance blocks out of that for your reoccurring tasks and meetings. So what are these performance blocks? Why do I need them for reoccurring tasks? So standard work is the name given in lean manufacturing for establishing precise procedures to make products in the fastest, easiest, and most effective way. And they use something called a jig to do that. These are basically production tools they use to accurately manufacture and duplicate interchange parts and products. And these jigs and fixtures are used so large amounts of components can be machined and assembled identically with the least amount of time and effort, which massively increases your speed, accuracy, and consistency. It basically means they can manufacture at scale without all the planning, the measuring, and the organizing that it would take to set up and cut or cost a new part every single time. So say you're making picnic benches, take one section of it, say take the leg even. If you didn't have a jig to cut it at the specific angle you needed, you'd basically need to measure it up, mark it out, and cut it at the same angle, the same time, every single time. Okay, do you get me? Your performance blocks are your standard work. They're your jig. And by using performance blocks, you will massively increase your efficiency in the same way that a jig does in manufacturing plants, because it just takes out all the planning, the organizing, and the thinking that comes with the current tasks that you have every single day and every single week, and setup cost that comes with that in terms of time. Remember, a lot of the time involved in getting anything done is actually in the planning, the organizing, and the thinking about it, and actually getting started. Once you actually get started and get stuck in and get going, that's actually the easy bit. It also does something more important than any of that. It creates space and time for you to work on your most important priorities, your high leverage work. Without a good system, we create constant inefficiencies when we don't fully understand our priorities, when we task switch and we don't work on when we work on the urgent instead of the important. These inefficiencies are then amplified as our mind gets clogged trying to remember all the trivia details, everything we need to do. And that's why we can never switch off in the evenings or weekends. But by operating your days using a system, you can free up your brain to do what it was designed to do, to generate ideas, to be creative. And you'll also start to see the larger patterns in what's happening, see trends no one else sees, and recognize opportunities before anyone else. That's the power, okay, of what we do. Think of your systems not just as a warehouse, where you store your most valuable ideas and all your to-dos and everything you need to do, but as a factory that helps you turn these same ideas into concrete actions and concrete results. That's the true power of the right system. And that's why this works so unbelievably well. Using our MPP system, we create a productivity flywheel, okay, that just pours fuel on your performance and your results. So you'll be able to capture every single thing you need to do and warehouse them in your second brain. You'll have performance blocks to amplify your performance and weed out all those inefficiencies in how you work, so you can constantly and consistently work on your highest priorities. And based on your plan for the week, you'll be over 85% more likely to get your priorities completed every single week. And achievement and success are just a guaranteed byproduct of this, okay? Now that the systems are in place, the next step here is leveraging your time, so you can achieve the most significant results with the least possible effort. And I mean, who wouldn't want that? Using the leverage of time is the most fundamental strategy for success right now. Honestly, it's that important, because as business owners, our most important asset is our time. Like, we can all make more money, but none of us can make more time. And when it's gone, it's gone. Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand and I can move the earth. We give you our tried and tested systems, so you can effectively leverage your time with the outcome that you're constantly achieving the most significant results with the least possible effort and the least possible time. When we applied our time leveraging systems to performance and work-based activities, we found that 80% of people's results is attained in 20% of the time taken. Conversely, 80% of time spent leads to only 20% of the output value. So this basically means that if you have a list of 10 things to do, 2 of those items will turn out to be worth 5 to 10 times more than the other 8 items put together. And using our time leveraging systems, you'll bring your focus and attention to these tasks. And this is where you start moving to the top end of what we call the leverage curve, okay? And 50 to 100x increases in your efficiency and your productivity. To do this using your second brain system for step 2, you'll understand which of your tasks will give you 5 to 10 times more value and results, getting you higher and higher in what we call the leverage curve. And you remember when I talked about the leverage curve earlier, when I studied the top performers in business, I seen one main commonality between them all. They all leverage time, operating off the top end of the leverage curve for 50 to 100x increases in results and performance, okay? And to do this, we use an extraordinary time leveraging flywheel that applies leverage to every single thing you do, leading to a rapid increase in results and a process that just gets leaner and more efficient every single week, moving you to the top end of the leverage curve rapidly. Remember this, the hours that ordinary people manage, extraordinary people leverage. And that's the difference between just managing your time or leveraging it. I mean, to lift a heavy object, you have a choice, to use leverage or not. You can try and lift the object directly, or you can use a lever like a jack or a plank of wood to transfer some of the weight and then lift it that way. Which approach is better? Will you succeed without using leverage? Maybe, but you can lift so much more with leverage and you can do it so much more easily. Without leverage, you have to work very, very hard, but your rewards are limited by the hours you put in. But with leverage, you can break that connection with time and achieve so much more and increase your productivity to an extraordinary extent. So much so that you'll achieve 50 to 100x increases in your productivity using our unique time leveraging systems. Step 4 is then when you start moving from distraction to focused action, because if you don't produce, you won't thrive, no matter how skilled or talented you are. Establishing the ability to perform deep focus work is fundamental to getting ahead in our new technology disrupted world. And the few that cultivate this skill and make it the core of their work in life will thrive. And we do this by setting up systems to filter, okay? Filter what I call the wall of noise that's coming at you all the time. The emails, the phone calls, the notifications, the WhatsApp, the instant messages, the constant disruptions. And when you do this, it creates mental space to actually work on your high leverage work. Not only that, but you'll get deep focus work on these tasks. And we get you working in that flow state for these higher priority tasks, which will actually 3x your output in the same time, okay? So you'll actually get 3 times more done in the same periods of time using our techniques. Using our seriously powerful flow state flywheel, we create the right conditions, allowing you to become fully immersed in whatever you're doing, entering that powerful flow state whenever you need to, leading to an instant 3x increase in your output and your speed and then the efficiency at which you work and get results. Step 5 is sustaining the gains. Finally, in this step, you'll get everything you need to ensure the massive gains you get from this program is sustained for life, not just for a few weeks, not just for a few months, but for life. And there's 3 things you need to do to embed anything new and ensure long-term success. That's winning habits, it's massive momentum, and it's constant course correction to ensure you reach what we call self-actualization. In other words, the fulfillment of your potential, okay? And to do this, we create a success flywheel that creates bulletproof habits and routines while activating what we call the momentum principle of success. This will create a massive sense of urgency, shifting you automatically into the fast track in your career and business. You'll also discover how to stay on track for a lifetime of success using what we call the 1 degree shift. Time is money when you own a business. So speed is the most important thing. It's like a plane trying to take off. If it doesn't gain enough speed, it'll just crash. You need the fuel to get you to the right speed, but it's the speed that allows you to take off and get to your end destination. If you want to be fast and efficient in how you work, if you want to get far more done in less time, you can book in a call with us now and we'll talk you through what we do. The faster you work, the more you get done. The higher your levels of self-esteem, the higher your levels of self-respect, your personal pride, and your job satisfaction. And you'll feel in complete control of your work and your personal life with far better results, getting you home on time to the kids in the evening so you can actually enjoy quality time with them and be able to actually switch off and be present when you do come home. You'll see that the way we structure our program is such that by following these steps, success is basically impossible to avoid. And with Elite Productivity, you get everything you need for a lifetime success. When you join Elite Productivity, we'll bring you to a strategic positioning questionnaire, okay? To learn more about your needs, what you do, your challenges, your business, I then onboard you into the program. And we create a game plan of success, which often leads to quick wins, okay, straight away. I then coach you through the program for 8 weeks, and we talked you through the 5 steps there that we coach you through. So every week, once a week for 8 weeks, we meet over Zoom, and I coach you through each stage, each step of the Elite Productivity program. We also build a wall of support around you via our direct Slack channel with myself, and also your weekly drop-in accountability sessions, where you get additional support and additional attention. You'll also get added to our private members group, okay, where you'll have the support of like-minded people. You're not on your own with this. You will succeed, and we have your back every single step of the way. You also get lifetime access to everything we go through, all the trainings, all the tools, all the templates, everything via your members area, and you get lifetime access to that. And we guarantee results with this, okay? We've the most powerful guarantee that we're aware of right now because of the unreal results that we're getting, people. And you can check out just some of our client stories on my Instagram page right now. So if you want to learn more, you can book in your call now, okay? And if you've already booked in your call, I'm really, really excited for you. And we'll talk very, very soon.